Hello collectors, I've had this model in my collection for a while, and I did my own 3D wheels on this one, so it looks a little more realistic. I like it. But Hot Wheels, you know, they don't really care about scale so much, so this thing is huge. It's not really 1/64 scale. I can't remember what scale it is, but you can refer back to the video on this one. So an alternative I've always known about is the Schuco one, and let's hope that it's 1/64 scale. I was just waiting for a nice livery to come out. I know that on Twice Diecast channel, he has an orange one, and it looks alright, but I realized that they came out with this, and I've just been patiently waiting for it to come out, and here it is. So this is a model that ran in the 1973 Monte Carlo rally, as you can see here. I looked up that race, and unfortunately this car did not finish the race. It said the route was blocked. So it's possible maybe there's so much snow, or maybe a mountain, maybe there's a landslide or something like that. But anyways, a lot of cars in that year of racing apparently just didn't make it through because because the route was blocked. So that's the extent I read about. So I couldn't really find any other information on this car, like specs or anything like that. Okay, right. So is Schuco smart enough to have a blister that fits in here? It looks too big, right? It's too... Let's try to jam it in here anyways. Is this because this is a Tarmac Works collaboration? Yeah, look, this is just silly. This is so frustrating to have such silliness. I mean, isn't this like something a 5-year-old child would figure out, like how to make a box fit something, right? How is it that a professional, well, not a professional company can allow this to happen? It's so weird. It's so weird. It's too long too. It's much too long. You can see that, yeah, it's so strange. So like they just expect you to do that, right? And just have this thing rattling around. Like, come on, man, that's just nuts. Anyway, so I hear now that Tarmac Works is going to do away with the blister packs, and hopefully they'll just figure out a better way to package this stuff. You know, package it like Mini GT or TLV. Those guys apparently went through elementary school and then figured it out. Alright, so let's take a look at these photos and see if this thing actually matches. You know, this has these traditional fog lamps. I couldn't find any photos of a number 255 car either, so the only photos that came up were models. So it's I don't know the history of this car. If anyone knows the history of this car, please leave a comment. I just didn't. After 15 minutes, I gave up. You know, I have other things to do. All right, let's look at the proportions here. Seems all right. Just look at the angle here. It's pretty, I don't know, it's hard to tell. It seems like it could be steeper on the model, but, and then here's a rear view of apparently just a stock vehicle here with the round tail lights. Alright, that seems okay. Nothing too far off from that. Here's another orange car, and I pulled this one up because it's got this silver bit of the headlight surround, and I do see that here in the model. Alright, I think it's alright. And the turn signal there on the side fender. Alright. I am a little curious about the scale of this thing, so I pulled up, granted that I don't know if Wikipedia is right, but I'm going to go with the wheelbase on this one because it's got these fog lights and the license plate is pretty thick. So I'm going to, let's see, the wheelbase is, well, first let me zero out my calipers here. Get this thing preferably right in the middle of these axles. Bearing in mind there's actually axle play that could be affecting these overall calculations, so alright, that's generally in the middle, so it's around 39 millimeters I have there. Now, Wikipedia is saying this thing has a wheelbase of 2,500 millimeters. Okay, so Schuco's got it. It's 64.1. Again, just the axle play alone. So I'm sure the thing is to scale. I mean, 0.1 is not really much to complain about, right? And again, I may have measured it improperly. I am rambling on. Alright, so let's get a dental pick out and take a look at these graphics here. And I think that they are tampos or not. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Is there an air pocket there? I don't know. I don't see any of the wrinkliness of a decal or the clear edge around a graphic. So I do believe these are tampo prints, and they actually got the end to go into that crevice there of the door panel cut. So that's pretty good. The wheels do look nice. They're not passing air though. I can see on the back side here it's just a solid silver surface. But what's good is they either cast them deep enough or they may have added a paint wash back in there, but it looks like black holes, right? So, and then there's a little black center cap as well, so it's very nice. The tires as well, they don't look too slab-sided, or they have, well, they are pretty flat, but for some reason, maybe it's the curvature around the outside edge, they look okay to me. Granted, it's got some pitting or something, but then Schuco does roll pretty well. It's got a metal base, and it's screwed together, so that's great. If you wanted to, you know, modify it or maybe add some color to the interior, you could. And these treads look really nice too. They look like they could be for rally use. Doesn't really say what the car is though. No, it does. My bad. 2002. Okay. So that's pretty good. There's also some silver paint on the exhaust coming out here. So that's nice. What about this side of the car? Everything looks pretty well printed. I don't see anything missing. This side apparently has the gas cap as well. It's a little bit off, but it's no big deal for me. The windows here, they have some silver paint on the windows themselves, but also there's a silver trim on the casting for the rain gutter there. So that seems pretty good. Although it is kind of weird that the silver here on the bottom just kind of stops. And same up here. Like, why doesn't the silver carry across here? Just look at the photo. I don't know if that's actually black on that middle photograph. You know, I think this is actually accurate. Yeah, this is actually accurate. When I look at the orange photograph on the far right that I showed earlier, the trim just stops here. And then it stops here. That's a really strange design choice on BMW's part. It's not Schuco's fault. It's BMW's choice. It's really weird. If anyone has a comment as to why they would have done that, that'd be probably something everyone would like to know. Alright, so there's some silver paint down here, and then there's a silver line going across, and there's the that turn signal I was talking about earlier. It's just painted in there, but it looks good. Going to the front, yeah, we got these 4 little light covers here. That's alright. Silver on the grille and the black there, and then I'm assuming that is a correct license plate. Nice clear lenses on the main headlights there. And then the BMW badge. Let's see if no, I don't think I've ever seen a BMW badge where you can really read the BMW. I've seen some that are kind of close, but I think it's just too difficult. Now this is definitely a decal. You can see all this clear wrinkliness here. So wait, under this magnification. Oh, see, look at this. Now, it is a decal. See how right here it's smooth? Right here it's all wrinkly. Yeah, there's an air pocket there. So, to the naked eye, it's almost impossible. It's really hard to tell. I mean, I couldn't tell at all. But under 4 times magnification, the flaws start to show up. So, bear that in mind. I mean, are you going to look at a model under 4 times magnification? Probably not in most instances. So I would still say so far this is a good model. Okay, so would have been nice to have excuse me, would have been nice to have some black paint in there. I got something in my throat today. Some silver here, raised wiper blades, and then silver on the rest of the trim. This blobby little mirror. It's quite interesting that they would have a hole in the casting of the window to fit that mirror. The rear, sorry. The rear seems okay as well. So it's nice that it has the, the thick, clear taillights. And then this is really cool. I didn't see this even in the packaging. This is actually a clear lens for this backup light here. I just assumed, when I saw these were painted, that was just painted also. But so that's nice. A little extra plastic is always a good thing to have. The license plate is done really well. And then the 2002 there, and then a little key lock, and then there's a chrome strip going across the back. Unfortunately, someone's hair got into the paint, so that's kind of gross. But if this gets buried in the dirt, someone could Jurassic Park the person and bring them back to life. Okay, silver exhaust tip is just blanked off, and then the bumpers are just casted in and painted silver. They're not separate pieces like a Kyosho would do. Okay, so the interior, you can see a nice thin roll bar there. It's not a full cage, it's just a roll bar in the back. But it's not thick like I see on CM, so that's good. And then you got some nice ribbing on the back seats. And same with the front seats. And shifter knob, some molded in details in the center console and the dash. And then molded details in the instrument pinnacle, some circles there, but I don't see any additional color. It's all just black plastic. Okay. Well, here are the drivers' names, and that is legible right there in the fender. Oh, don't know. Still, there's a dot there. Oh, it's supposed to be Stiller. So yeah, this one is not printed very well. Okay. Alright, well, it's pretty cool. I'm not sure when you think about the pricing of this thing. This wasn't a cheap model at all. I mean, just look it up online. I don't think it's really... I would say it's probably not worth the money. It's got a nice livery. I'll give them credit there. It's got extra parts, with the 4 fog lights and the 1 lamp in the back and the license plate. I don't know if the normal Schucos have license plates printed on them. I can't recall. So there's definitely some extra value going on in this model. I just don't know if it's really worth over 20 bucks, which is what I paid. So yeah, alright, well, let's compare to a couple other models. Maybe that'll help us decide. So this is a BMW, well, technically it's an Alpina B6, and this is by Mini GT. So Mini GT's got all the good printing and nice wheels and plastic lights front and back as well. And again, it just has a plain black interior. But the Mini GT doesn't cost $20. I think I got this for maybe $11. So that's a big difference. It's almost half the price. It is half the price. Technically I actually paid more than 20 bucks for that. So that's where the value thing comes into play. I don't know. I'm not seeing it so much. Those little extra lights, are they worth an extra 10 bucks? What do you guys think? Alright. Oh well. So, the last one will be this Hot Wheels again, just to show this, how massive the Hot Wheels is. It's, I think it's like 155 or something, somewhere in the 150 range. Maybe 160. Okay, well, for me, I don't know of a better BMW 2002 that's actually 1/64 scale, other than the Schuco ones. Maybe, now that I think about it, Kyosho's probably done one. They just have so many collections, I didn't even think to search for a Kyosho 2002. I'm sure they might have one, and it would probably have separate bumpers if it did, but it wouldn't be a rally version, it would just be a regular street version. Well, I guess I gotta do some searching on my own and see if I can find one of those. Well, until then, I guess I'll see you in the next review. Cheerio. Bye.